So nowadays we see patients, I'm saying patients, so some pain, some suffering. Before going to the doctor, they download all the information regarding it. Right? Then they go to the doctor and check his knowledge. True? This is exactly what a Shushka Gnani does. Downloads all the information regarding Atma from scriptures, then go to a Sadguru to check his knowledge. Time and again I have said, the greatest enemy of oneself is not ignorance, but illusion of knowledge. મને બધું આવડે છે, મને ખબર છે. That is a greater enemy even than ignorance, agnan. See, years back you were agnani. How humble were you? So much devotion you had. હું કાંઈ જાણતો નથી, સાહેબ સમજાવો. And then illusion of knowledge, આ તો ખબર છે, આમ આવશે, આમ થશે. That is your greater enemy. અત્યારના તો બહુ વાંધો નથી. It can turn into comparison, jealousy, animosity, if not checked. So bhakti is must, I think, till the last second before you attain Keval Gnan. Because that is complete oneness. So one cannot be with feelings of devotion after that. I'm talking in the sense of oneness. Till then one needs humility and devotion more and more on the ladder. Ascending the ladder, he needs more and more, or the pitfalls are ready. Common sense, right? Because the greatest enemy is not ignorance, but illusion of knowledge. Without any experience. Knowledge, scriptural knowledge, without experience. What I mean by illusion of knowledge? Knowledge of words, scriptures, terms, but no experience. Are you a real seeker? The verification is how much experience is important to you. Clear? So by using the word Brant, by using the word Vachagnan, this is what Param Kupadev wants to tell us. Divase divase satsang, swadhyay, shastra abhyas, it will increase. Because that keeps you on the path, right? So you should be doing more and more. But see to it you don't create a khadda for you. So, delusion not removed, nothing. As I said earlier, a ray of light passes through a prism, refracted into 7 colors. The world seen through delusion is an illusion. दुनिया मोह दृष्टिથી જોતા ભ્રાંતિ ઉત્પન્ન થાય છે. You don't see the oneness, you see dualities, Putkal Bhed, Paryay Bhed, and then the likes and dislikes erupt. Emotions blur the intellect. Emotions So liking and disliking, they blur your intellect. Just imagine before a match starts, you have already decided who should win. So they're playing and you are judging. Okay, they are playing well. That is another thing. Before the match starts, or whichever, see, long ago you used to play football and all, right? Now the youth have become lazy and the oldies have become active. So, emotions blur the intellect in such a way, giving an example of the match before it has begun, even before the players have entered the field. Your likes and dislikes have already decided, especially when it's green and blue. Likes, dislikes, kitla padya hase bhitar. Just tell me one thing. You are going for a morning walk. Your friend or someone with his dog. And he's holding the dog. And the dog barks. How bad will you feel? Dog ne શું સમજ પડે? Dog no nature છે કે any stranger it sees, it will bark. So I have to accept its nature. There's nothing wrong in me maybe, but it's the nature of the dog. So you accept it because your intellect is working perfectly. You reach home, another barking, your emotions. Something happens to your intellect, it gets blurred by emotions. Somewhere you didn't expect this, or your ego came in the way. You start feeling bad. You react with anger, zero understanding, etc. Why? See, this is an example in front of you, a mad person saying nasty things to you. આ બિચારાને સમજ નથી. Rotten things he says about you, nothing affects you. Why can't you accept the nature of that person? કે આનું છે ને બોલવાનું થોડું તોછડું છે, પણ I know, no. I understand, right? I am a spiritual person, right? So I can accept this. See what's expected from you. So likes and dislikes are so much in the system. You come in contact with anything, manifests. If your intellect does not intervene, swayed in that emotion. You realize quite late. Correct? So, such a person who has a lot of scriptural knowledge but has done nothing with his delusion, not even tried destroying it, Param Kripadev uses two words for such a person, Prant and Vacha Gnan. Only lip service, only verbal exercise. Vacha Gnan, Vacha, Mani, Vacha, or Brant, he is in illusion, or all rest, Baki, Kahiye, Brant. The rest of is illusion or rest are in illusion. Correct? So we can see in these two verses, 139 and 140, Param Kripadev is shifting the seeker's gaze, because he's explaining it to the worthy seeker, the disciple. He is shifting his gaze from pomp, show, pageant, splendid display. As it accounts for nothing, it's nothing more than a facade. Talking of the body, just a superficial scene, luster over a gangrenous body, decaying body. Scratch a little bit and the rot will be visible. To a seeing eye, meaning the Gnani, the world is nothing more than just leftovers or a fleeting dream. It's no more attractive for him, not wonderful for him, does not desire any worldly stuff, does not get excited or thrilled on attaining it, because the eyes have opened. Gnani, effortlessly, aspirant with effort. Gnani does not need an intellect because he has an experience, something higher. So why use buddhi for Gnani? Let's use prajna. We have buddhi, which has been turned into subuddhi by Sri Atmasiddhi Shastra. It was kubuddhi, but because of this divine true knowledge, it's turned into subuddhi, so buddhi. So use your buddhi, consult your buddhi, and see, is the world yet attractive for you? Because for a Gnani, it is as unattractive as leftover food. Etvat. What means gem, like. Or fleeting as transitory as a dream. Know this reality and get down to liberate yourself. આટલું જ્ઞાની સમજાવે છે પદાર્થનો સ્વભાવ, જગતનો સ્વભાવ, તારો સ્વભાવ. So everything has been revealed. Now get down to liberate yourself. Experiment it. I have said several times, spirituality is a science. Science means experiments. So experiment it. Recharge yourself with those dosage of satsangs and contemplation, deliberation. See to it, it is in your intellect. It is seated in your intellect, which governs your actions. Eliminate all the emotions which blur it. That's it. So, how beautifully Rumi came to the conclusion, when I was intelligent, which everyone feels so, I went out to change the world. When I became wise, I changed myself. How beautiful is it? When I was intelligent, he realizes nothing. When I was intelligent, I went out to change the world. And I called it seva. I called it karuna. I called it lokasangra. Pachu lok kalyan. If a Gnani does, fine. You first need to do lok kalyan. Your lok first. So how beautifully he sums up the whole. See, Gnanis give the essence of spirituality in such few words. બહુ પોતાની જાતને હોશિયાર સમજતો હતો, બધું જગતને સરખું કરવામાં લાગેલો હતો. જ્યારે જ્ઞાન થયું, વિઝડમ dawned, I realized nothing but my attitude needs a change. So, verse 141 now. It is called Upantya Gatha in Gujarati, meaning next to the last. Upantya. And in English, Apurvaji will tell. Penultimate. Because that's what we have written. In this Upantya Gatha, second last verse, describing the nature of the enlightened one, which can clearly be distinguished from the verbal intellectualist, Param Kripaludev brought this subject to a close. Before completing Sri Atma Siddhi Shastra, he shows what one should do after studying the scripture, homework. What one should do after studying the scriptures. That is, first study the scriptures, then memorize the whole thing, and what one should do after understanding it thoroughly, what should one do. So what does Param Kripaludev say?
સ્થાનક પાંચ વિચારીને છઠ્ઠે વર્તે જે પામે સ્થાનક પાંચમું એમાં નહીં સંદેહ.
These claps were not expected now. They were expected after the Vivechan, but so beautifully, having established the six fundamental truths through logical arguments, examples, in the form of a dialogue between a guru and shishya. So it was like charcha without chai. Chai pe charcha I can't say, but it was clapping, laughing, smiling and understanding. It was a charcha, dialogue, but it needed our attention because we thought we were very smart, but the logical arguments, the shishya itself is so smart. કોને આદર્શ બનાવવું એ જ સમજાતું નથી. સદગુરુને કે આવા તો બનીએ પહેલા સુશિષ્ય. So beautifully portrayed. He expounded the six fundamental truths, six spiritual truths. You'll be reading these words somewhere in the book, being the tagline. The main title I didn't want to change. All the saints contacted us, mostly all the saints. રાકેશભાઈની કોમેન્ટ્રીનું નામ શું છે? અમે ફોરવર્ડ મોકલીએ છીએ, તો we have to say something about his book, his writing. You have not mentioned that. તો કે શ્રી આત્મસિદ્ધિ શાસ્ત્ર કોમેન્ટ, તો કે એ તો શ્રીમદજીએ લખી છે. So it was so beautiful. I could have given some fancy word for it. I said, there can't be anything better than Sri Atma Siddhi Shastra. So how does an English reader understand the title or what he's going for? So you need a tagline by which he knows what he's going to find in this book. So we had to write a tagline, and I allowed it. Ekdam jin line કરીને. So so beautifully expounded the fundamental truths for the benefit of the aspirant. Not because he knew so much he wanted to display it. Only after the Shishya asks, the Guru explains. He could have used the lecture style, and the Guru says, "Come here, I have something to tell you." He could have done that, and beautifully. But he said, only if he aspires for the ultimate truth. And once the Shishya samjha wo sadupay, and he's ready. Barges. I don't know if the Shishya was ready for such. So, in this verse, the final recommendation on what needs to be done after studying this scripture. What needs to be done after, the word after is important. You beautifully received it. Well received. It is, I enjoyed the whole journey. And even you all. So, Canadian Neil was telling me yesterday that I thought Upsamvar Badhu Upparti Jase. You know, he must have just gone through the verses, and it went deep within him so easily. That's what he says. Upparti Javane Badle Chapra Udi Gya. His word. Roof. And Nemiji also said something beautiful yesterday. Now I understand why Pandit Sukhlalji said this can serve as an independent scripture. Guru ave, Atma ave, philosophy ave, practice ave, Gnani ave, everything. It seems the 15 verses are complete in itself. So now with experience, you can say that, right? So beautifully, see the beautiful play of words. Sthanak, pancha vichari ne, chatte varte je, pame psana. He could have used the word moksha. He could have used the word put in efforts. But he's a genius. I'm chile. छूटा पड़ता भी थोड़ी मजा कराएगी. So actually this verse, it needs only 5 to 7 minutes of explanation actually. But enjoy the play of words. Once you understand it, see the display of words. Word to word meaning. Sthanak, aphorisms. Panch, Vicharine. Chatte, act. Who? Act. Pame, Sthanak. Panchmu, Ema. Nahi, Sandeh. So beautifully he says, contemplating over the 5 aphorisms. Which are the 5 ones? Atma che, Nitya che, Karma, Bhokta che, Moksha che. No, Pacha che. Contemplating over the 5 fundamental truths or aphorisms or doctrines. If one acts according to the 6th, what is the 6th? Moksha upaya. There is path of liberation. If he does this after thinking over these 5, contemplating over, deliberating over these 5, if he acts according to the 6th, what will happen? He will attain the 5th. What is 5th? So, the play of words I am saying. He will attain the fifth, which is liberation, and there is no doubt about it. Emma? Nice, Sunday. So what more you want to know about this? See, he is exactly saying 5 fundamental truths are to be thought of. 6th fundamental has to be acted upon. તો આત્મા છે ને નિત્ય છે એમાં એકચ્યુઅલી તમારે કરવાનું શું છે? ઇટ્સ ઓલરેડી છે. You are a soul which is eternal, which is the doer, receiver. So what have you to do in this? You have to just understand it well. But moksha upai is not for understanding, it is to act upon. So સ્થાનક 5 વિચારીને એટલે કે વિચારવા માટે છે. છઠ્ઠે વર્તે જે છઠ્ઠું act કરવા માટે છે. Put in efforts according to the 6 fundamental truth. So clearly, he says. So through your power of contemplation or pondering, understand the 5 doctrines very well. Nishank, without a doubt. So, on deeply contemplating over the 5, you will achieve CC. Forgot? Correct. Cogent clarity. ભૂલી ગયા બસ એક ક્વિઝ પૂરતું જ હતું હોય. So, cogent clarity. With right deliberation, you will achieve that conviction about it. Yes, Atma che, Nitya che. So if Atma is Nitya, then you can easily explain why of everything through the karmic philosophy. Because the soul is eternal. So past life seed brings and then the fruits. And so karma no karta che, karma phal no bhokta che. He enjoys or suffers the fruits of karma. You can be liberated. So these are the 5. So when you reflect upon it, you gain firm conviction. So that is over. Sthanak pancha vichare. So I am very clear. I have finished my journey. I am clear about the 5 fundamental truths. I am very, very clear about it. I have no doubt. So I am done. 6 is left. And 6, you don't have to ponder, think, contemplate, deliberate. To understand, yes. And then, after developing the conviction of the 5, one should act according to the 6th. Meaning, there is a path of liberation, understand it, and then put efforts. So, after proper analysis of the 5 aphorisms, what should one do? This contemplation, this conviction actually helps him to act according to the 6th. It's helpful. If only this has to be done, then why these 5? No, the conviction of the 5 actually helps you to go according to the 6th. So the whole process, it started with just questions. And now it is getting transformed into efforts. See, you all are planning your efforts now. It just started as questions. આત્મા દેખાતો નથી, આત્મા ટેમ્પરરી છે, આત્મા મોમેન્ટરી છે, કર્મનો કરતા લાગતો નથી. It was just simple questions, so charcha. And how the charcha went ahead, and now you are just thinking about how to experience the soul. So what started as questioning turned into a quest. So you thought after getting appropriate answers, puru thai jase. But something else started. Now no more questions. So everything is resolved beautifully. But now the inner quest, I want to experience this soul. The splendor, the glory, how Param Kripadev has glorified the soul out of his experience. Even I want to experience. So what started as questioning turned into a quest. Yeah. So treading the path of liberation, the aspirant aims at reducing his attachments, aversions, and progress towards complete abidance in the self. एक बाजू राग द्वेष ओछा करवा, बीजी बाजू आत्मा सच्चैतन्यमयમાં સર્વાભાસ રહિત એવા આત્મામાં સ્થિર થવું. So reducing attachment and aversions and increasing the awareness or abidance. Awareness you can use before enlightenment, also after enlightenment. Abidance you can use only after the experience. So let's use the word awareness. So even in verse 39, moha bhav kshay hoy ja athva hoy prashant. So of course you will say ke chalo બે option છે ને, either destroy more or pacify more. So I am going for pacifying. Of course I didn't touch the topic of guna sthanaks yesterday, and I don't intend to touch today also. But imagine completely moha is destroyed when you become vitarag, right? So let's keep it 13. Instead of 12, let's keep it 13. So all the other gnanis are between 4 and 12. So have they completely destroyed moha between 4 and 12? So they are called prashant. And kshay. And my mom asked me yesterday, if this is the process, shant, karta, 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 kshay, so shouldn't this prashant thing come first and kshay comes? No. Both are gnanis. One is keval gnani, one is atma gnani. So first, મોટો ભાઈ ને નાનો ભાઈ હોય, રાકેશભાઈ ને રાહુલભાઈ હોય, તો પહેલા કોનું નામ લેવું જોઈએ? મોટા ભાઈનું. તેમ જેને ક્ષય કર્યો છે એનું નામ પહેલા બોલાવવું જોઈએ, અને જેને શાંત કર્યા છે એનું નામ પછી બોલાવવું. I didn't want to touch the whole thing about Gunsthanak. Then you would feel this verse is so heavy. 112 તો આપણે બધું કર્યું હતું, અનંતાનુબંધીને અપ્રત્યાખ્યાની, પ્રત્યાખ્યાની, સંજ્વલન. Though you enjoyed that verse also, that was my test. So I didn't want to touch it. I wanted to keep it clean. કે બહુ સિમ્પલ છે, destroyed or subsided, બસ. Especially for the quiz people. I wanted to keep it simple. But prashant means not suppression. Either I have suppressed or I have destroyed. Not in that sense. Because some category is destroyed, but some category of kasha is left, no? Anantanubandhi is gone, but apratyakyani is left. Apratyakyani is gone, pratyakyani is still left. Pratyakyani is gone, sanjwalan is still left. So completely if we say, then moha is pacified but not destroyed. But it includes gnanis from 4th Gunsthanak to 12th. And then when he attains that Kshina moha, means complete destruction of moha, so we say hoy kshay. Moha bhav kshay hoy ja athva hoy prashant. All the gnanis from 4 to 14. All. Actually, this makes more sense, right? This meaning makes more sense. Unfortunately, out of that scare, okay, I might shoot, I didn't put this in the book. I put the first thing, subside karya hoy, ke destroy karya hoy. But try to understand, he has included all gnanis and still જેને પૂર્ણપણે ડિસ્ટ્રોય કર્યા છે એને ફર્સ્ટ મૂક્યા. મોહ ભાવ ક્ષય હોય કોમા અથવા હોય પ્રશાંત. So There are so many dimensions. You tell me to do the whole yagna again, and you will get something else. But something, we won't end here, though we'll end the verse. Atma Siddhi will be constantly with us, guiding us. Okay. So, now the second line. Sthanaka 5 vicharine, what should be thought? So 5. What should be acted upon? 6. And if you are genuine in your efforts, and if you put the right effort, what will happen? Pame sthanak 5mu. 5mu was Atma. Acha, moksha છે, right. So you'll attain moksha. Simple. It's not the time spent in this endeavor which is important. It is the earnestness what is important. There are several instances in the scriptures where a person has given very less time or has attained liberation in a very short time because of tremendous effort. 48 minutes. We took 125 hours to understand. And they attained liberation in 48 minutes because of the right tremendous efforts. There are several instances in the scriptures. And in contrast, there are such instances of people who have not yet attained liberation, though putting efforts for a long time. Maybe it is not the right effort or the right intensity or what. Not yet attained. So it has nothing to do with time. You might have joined the group yesterday, and today you can get enlightened. Of course, we do like to hear stories from 30 varasthi, 40 varasthi satsang mahoitu. We like to hear stories and all. So good for inspiration. But it doesn't mean you will need 40 years. This pursuit has nothing to do with time, only earnestness. હજી 4 મહિના પહેલા તમને રુચિ જાગી હોય, you can cut the path easily. So, એમાં નહીં સંદેહ, undoubtedly he will secure liberation if he puts the right effort. Param Kripalu Dev is promising unhesitatingly. એમાં નહીં સંદેહ. Just do this. I assure you, you will attain liberation. Self-tested. આ રીતે જ મને થયું છે એમ ભગવાન કહે છે. આ રીતે જ મને થયું છે. So I'm not trying on you. I've tested. So in this beautiful verse, second last verse, in his inimitable style, which cannot be imitated, we can only praise. And a beautiful play of words. He encompasses the result of the scriptures. So everything is there in the scriptures. So the 5 fundamentals there for what you have to think of. Even 6th is there, what you have to act upon. Meaning, what is the result of the scripture? Liberation itself. So the result is also mentioned. So I think Param Kripalu Dev has indicated the way in Atma Siddhi Shastra. It is to the reader or the seeker, if you are a seeker. If you're just a reader, then reader, who must now walk the path. He has indicated the way. He has unveiled the staircase. It's you who must now climb to reach the ultimate. He has pointed out at the water. It's you who has now to drink. But one thing is clear, once the goal is in front of you, once the path is clear to you, goal in front of you and the path very, very clear to you because of Sri Atma Siddhi Shastra, your heart is set on it and the journey has begun, liberation is certain. This is the spirit of this verse. The Atma of this verse. Goal is in front of you. Path is clear to you. Your heart is set on it. And the journey has begun. You will certainly attain liberation. We don't even need a promise for him because we can understand and feel it ourselves. कि आम करसू तो थसे ज. See the positive note. And you were sad it's ending. How can you be sad? See the spirit in the second last verse. And the last verse, of course. See the spirit. Let's see.
स्थानक पांच विचारी ने छठे वरते जे पामे स्थानक पांच मुँह हेमा नहीं संदेह.